We tend to view our relationships as simple fixtures in the landscape of our daily lives, rarely pausing to consider their profound influence on our well-being. But what if the quality of these connections was the very cornerstone of a happy and fulfilled existence? Here we turn to the timeless wisdom of Stoicism, an ancient philosophy that guides us not only toward resilience in the face of adversity, but also toward the vital importance of surrounding ourselves with those who truly enrich and respect our lives. Stoicism is not merely about enduring hardship. It is about recognizing what is truly beneficial for our inner tranquility and our moral development. In this discussion, we will explore 12 clear signs that it may be time to reevaluate certain relationships, perhaps even to find the courage to walk away. This is not a simple act of avoiding negativity. It is about actively choosing a path that aligns with the core virtues of wisdom, justice, courage, and moderation. As we unfold these insights, we will see that each step we take can lead us not only toward personal peace, but also toward a more profound understanding of what it means to live a good life. Whether you seek to cultivate healthier bonds or find the strength to make difficult choices, this exploration will offer the tools and perspectives to transform your approach to the connections that shape your world. Let us embark on this journey together, learning to protect our most precious asset, our peace of mind. If this exploration resonates with you, consider joining our community by subscribing, so we may continue these vital conversations together. And I invite you to stay with us for the entire discussion, to fully capture the essence of what we are about to uncover. Number 1. A consistent lack of respect. Respect is the very thread from which the fabric of any healthy relationship is woven. It is the bedrock upon which all other interactions are built. Within Stoicism, respect is deeply connected to the virtue of justice, the call to treat others with fairness and dignity. When we speak of a persistent lack of respect, we are addressing a critical violation of both interpersonal ethics and Stoic principles. Imagine being constantly met with a discourtesy you would never extend to others. It is like having your dignity slowly chipped away, piece by piece. This constant undermining is more than unpleasant. It is a clear signal that the relationship is out of harmony with the Stoic aim of a virtuous life. For the Stoics, every interaction is an opportunity to practice virtue. When someone repeatedly treats you with disrespect, they not only harm your well-being but also impede your ability to live by these principles. When we encounter such disregard, whether in words, actions, or simple neglect, it is a stark indicator that something fundamental is broken. Stoicism teaches us not to react with anger or resentment, but to respond with reasoned judgment. This means recognizing the disrespect for what it is, a deviation from virtuous living. The goal is not to cast blame, but to calmly and rationally understand the impact of these actions on our path, and to decide whether such a relationship should continue to play a significant role in our lives. Addressing a consistent lack of respect is a proactive measure to safeguard your mental peace and moral integrity. It is an assertion of your worth and your commitment to the Stoic pursuit of virtue. Number 2. Negative effects on your mental health. The influence of those around us on our mental health can be both profound and pervasive. Stoicism teaches the importance of maintaining our tranquility, a state of inner calm and equipoise. This is not about suppressing emotion, but about understanding and managing it, especially when it is affected by others. If you find yourself frequently anxious, stressed, or diminished by someone's presence in your life, it is a clear sign that the relationship may be causing more harm than good. Stoicism advises us to cultivate environments that contribute to our well-being. Relationships that consistently sap your emotional energy hinder your ability to live a serene and purposeful life. While the Stoics believed our well-being depends primarily on our inner state, they also recognized our duty to protect that inner peace from disruptive influences. The great Stoic thinker Seneca often wrote of associating with those who uplift and inspire us, and distancing ourselves from those who bring negativity into our lives. To reflect on a relationship's impact is not just to identify negative emotions, but to take action to ensure you are not held captive by them. This may mean setting boundaries, or it may mean stepping away. In doing so, you are not failing to endure. You are making a strategic decision to foster a healthier, more harmonious life, the ultimate goal of Stoic practice. Number 3. Misaligned values. Our core beliefs and values are the compass that guides us through life's complexities. When these fundamental principles consistently clash with those of someone close to us, it can create significant internal conflict. Stoicism places a great emphasis on personal integrity and living in harmony with our rational principles, making such misalignments a serious concern. When a person close to you lives by a set of values that contradicts your own, it challenges your ability to maintain inner peace. For example, if you value honesty, but a friend frequently bends the truth, this discrepancy can create a persistent source of tension. Over time, these conflicts erode the trust and mutual respect essential for any healthy relationship. More profoundly, Stoicism encourages us to surround ourselves with people who embody the virtues we aspire to, as Marcus Aurelius often noted. When our values do not align, we may find ourselves compromising our principles or living in a state of constant ethical conflict, hindering our progress as Stoics. Addressing such misalignments requires thoughtful examination. It may call for open discussion to see if mutual understanding is possible. However, if the gap is simply too wide, it may be necessary to reconsider the relationship's place in your life. This is not about judging another person as wrong, but rather recognizing that not every relationship serves the higher purpose of your personal and ethical development. This alignment is central to the Stoic goal of tranquility and, ultimately, a well-lived life. Number 4. Feeling constantly drained. In any healthy relationship, the exchange of energy should be revitalizing, not depleting. When interactions with someone consistently leave you feeling drained, it is a significant sign that the dynamic is misaligned with the Stoic principle of preserving one's internal energy for rational and harmonious living. Stoic philosophers like Seneca and Marcus Aurelius emphasized the value of nurturing, reciprocal relationships over those that exhaust our emotional reserves. Feeling drained is not a minor inconvenience. It is a profound tax on the very resources you need to live a good and productive life. This feeling can manifest as emotional fatigue, a sense of dread before seeing someone, or even physical tiredness. These are symptoms that the relationship is costing you more than it provides, a state the Stoics would deem both unsustainable and unwise. Taking action involves a thoughtful evaluation of why the relationship is so draining. Is it a lack of mutual support or perhaps constant negativity? Identifying the root cause is the first step. From there, you can choose to communicate your feelings, set firmer boundaries, or, if the dynamic proves irreparable, distance yourself to preserve your peace. Managing these draining interactions is about making room for more enriching and meaningful relationships that align with the Stoic ideals of mutual respect and personal growth. Number 5. Manipulation. In the world of Stoicism, the pursuit of authenticity and clarity is paramount. Manipulation stands in stark opposition to these principles. It distorts reality for the benefit of the manipulator, clouding your judgment and leading you away from the Stoic ideal of a reasoned and virtuous life. Manipulation can be as overt as deceit or as subtle as guilt-tripping and gaslighting, where your own perceptions are called into question. For a Stoic, this is a significant problem, as it disrupts your ability to make sound judgments based on true perceptions. Dealing with manipulation requires a firm adherence to Stoic principles. Seek truth, live with integrity, and maintain your autonomy. This might involve setting clear boundaries or becoming more vigilant to the signs of manipulative behavior. It is crucial to reaffirm your own values and act in alignment with them, rather than reacting to another's tactics. The Stoic practice of reflection can help you examine the nature of the relationship and decide whether it can be salvaged through honest communication, or if it would be wiser to distance yourself. Freeing yourself from manipulative relationships is not just about escaping a negative influence. It is about realigning with the Stoic goal of living a truthful, authentic life. This realignment brings clearer thinking, better decisions, and a more profound sense of peace. Number 6, a lack of trust. Trust is not merely a component of a relationship, it is the very foundation upon which it is built. In the context of Stoicism, trust aligns with the virtue of justice, which emphasizes the fairness, honesty, and reliability essential for any meaningful connection. Without trust, a relationship becomes unstable, filled with doubts that prevent genuine intimacy. Stoicism teaches us to be dependable and truthful, because these qualities foster an environment where trust can flourish. When trust is absent, it is often because these core values are not being upheld. Suspicion replaces openness, and fear overtakes hope. Addressing a lack of trust involves a return to Stoic principles. It requires honest self-assessment and open dialogue. Am I being as transparent and reliable as I can be? Stoicism encourages us to address these questions head-on. If the trust issues stem from the other person, a Stoic approaches the situation with empathy, yet with the firmness to set necessary boundaries. This could mean initiating difficult conversations to uncover the root of the problem. But in some cases, where trust cannot be restored, maintaining your own peace of mind and adherence to virtue may require you to step away. Trust is crucial not only for the health of a relationship, but for the practice of Stoicism itself, which values the tranquility that comes from secure and reliable connections. Number 7. Abuse of any kind. Stoicism unequivocally condemns any form of abuse, be it physical, emotional, or verbal. Such actions are antithetical to the Stoic commitment to treating all human beings with inherent dignity. Enduring abuse is never a Stoic requirement. Instead, Stoicism advocates for the preservation of one's self-respect and well-being above all. Marcus Aurelius spoke of maintaining one's inner citadel, a fortress of principle and peace unbreached by external injustice. Abuse is a direct assault on this inner citadel. Recognizing and addressing any form of abuse is critical, not only for your safety, but for your mental health and dignity. The Stoic approach involves a clear and rational decision to distance yourself from the source of harm. This is not about retaliation, but about removing yourself from a situation that violates the most fundamental principles of virtuous living. This act of distancing is also a practice of self-care, essential for a life of virtue. It is about proactively ensuring your environment contributes positively to your moral and philosophical goals. If you are facing abuse, it is crucial to take steps to protect yourself and seek help from trusted friends, family, or professionals. Stoicism teaches us to act wisely and courageously in the face of wrongful treatment, always safeguarding our dignity and our well-being. Number 8. An absence of growth or mutual support. In Stoicism, personal and moral growth are central to the art of living a good life. Relationships should be arenas for that growth, where both parties challenge and support each other on the path toward wisdom. Stoic philosophers spoke of synergia, or mutual cooperation, emphasizing the role our connections play in our self-improvement. This support involves more than just encouragement. It is an active contribution to each other's progress through honest feedback and shared experience. When you find yourself in a relationship where you are neither growing nor being supported in your growth, it can feel like being anchored in place. This stagnation can manifest as a sense of dissatisfaction, a feeling that your potential is being curtailed. In Stoic practice, such a scenario demands introspection and action. It may involve open conversations about your needs and expectations. Or in some cases, it may mean recognizing that the relationship no longer serves your higher purpose. For a Stoic, a relationship that fails to contribute to your advancement toward wisdom is not just a neutral factor. It can be a hindrance that requires reassessment. Aligning your relationships with your fundamental values is a vital part of striving for the Stoic ideal of a flourishing life. Number 9. Persistent, selfish behavior. In the philosophy of Stoicism, relationships are viewed as key arenas for practicing virtues like generosity, fairness, and reciprocity. A relationship is a dynamic interplay of giving and receiving. Persistent selfish behavior, therefore, stands in stark contradiction to Stoic ethics. When one person consistently prioritizes their own desires over the others, it disrupts the equilibrium necessary for any healthy partnership. This imbalance becomes a breeding ground for resentment and dissatisfaction, eroding the bonds of trust and affection over time. Addressing such behavior requires honest reflection and calm communication. A Stoic approach would be to express your concerns clearly, focusing on the impact of the behavior rather than casting blame in an effort to restore balance. However, Stoicism also champions self-respect. If efforts to restore balance prove fruitless, it is wise to recognize when a situation is beyond your control. In the Stoic view, every interaction is an opportunity to practice virtue. A relationship dominated by selfishness denies this opportunity. To step away from such a dynamic is not a failure, but a conscious choice to honor the principles of fairness and mutual respect, creating space in your life for connections that truly align with a virtuous path. A relationship poisoned by persistent selfishness is more than a personal trial. It is a philosophical one. It stands as an obstacle on the path to a good life, a life defined by mutual respect, shared support, and the continuous growth of all involved. To recognize and confront such challenges is not merely a quest for personal happiness. It is an embrace of a moral and ethical way of life that enriches ourselves and those around us. Number 10. Destructive communication. For the Stoics, the pursuit of rationality and wisdom extends even to the words we choose. Communication, in any relationship, should be more than merely honest. It must be constructive, even uplifting. This reflects the Stoic ideal that our words should mirror our virtues, empowering us to either support others or undermine them. A constant barrage of criticism, sarcasm, and belittling eats away at the very foundations of respect and understanding. When communication becomes a destructive force, it inflicts more than just immediate pain. Over time, it can fundamentally reshape the way two people see each other, eroding trust and affection. A Stoic approach demands a mindful examination of not only what is said, but how it is said. Stoicism teaches us to master our reactions and choose our words with care, ensuring they align with our core principles of justice and kindness. This means consciously infusing our conversations with positivity, and when disagreements arise, approaching them with the intent to resolve and rebuild, rather than to win an argument or diminish another person. Transforming destructive communication requires deliberate effort. It might involve practicing active listening, setting clear intentions for how we speak, or even seeking outside guidance to hone these skills. Here, the Stoic practice of self-reflection is indispensable, prompting us to regularly assess our own habits and ask if they align with our highest goals. But if these efforts to mend communication fail, Stoicism also honors the duty to protect our own well-being. In the face of relentless negativity, creating distance may be the necessary choice to preserve one's integrity and peace of mind. Guided by wisdom, this is not a decision made lightly, but a vital step toward living a virtuous life, unburdened by constant discord. Number 11. Disregard for personal needs. In Stoic thought, respecting personal needs and boundaries is essential for maintaining both self-respect and relational harmony. To ignore or trivialize these needs is to create a severe imbalance, fostering an environment where disrespect and dissatisfaction can flourish. The Stoic philosophy champions clear communication and mutual respect as the twin pillars of any healthy relationship. When someone consistently overlooks your needs, it sends a powerful, silent message. Your well-being is not a priority. This neglect can take many forms: repeatedly overstepping boundaries, making unilateral decisions, or simply failing to acknowledge your feelings and preferences. Such behavior doesn't just undermine trust and equality. It chips away at an individual's sense of self-worth and autonomy, qualities a Stoic strives to protect. The first step in addressing this is to recognize and affirm your own needs. From a Stoic perspective, this is not selfishness. It is self-care, an act of ensuring you do not sacrifice your moral and emotional health for the illusion of peace. The next step is to communicate these needs clearly and assertively. This dialogue should not be a confrontation, but an invitation, an attempt to help the other person understand what you require to maintain a healthy connection. However, if this disregard continues even after discussion, it may be time to reevaluate the very foundation of the relationship. Stoicism reminds us to surround ourselves with people who contribute positively to our lives. If a relationship consistently brings more turmoil than tranquility, wisdom may guide you to step away. This is not an act of aggression, but a measured choice to preserve one's own well-being and moral integrity, core tenets of a Stoic life. While Stoicism values our connections and teaches us to face adversity with courage, it also insists we live true to our principles. A relationship that fundamentally ignores an individual's needs cannot align with the Stoic pursuit of a harmonious and virtuous life. Number 12. Absence of mutual accountability. In any partnership, accountability is not merely a benefit, it is an absolute necessity. Stoicism teaches that taking responsibility for our actions is a fundamental virtue, one that fosters the trust and respect crucial for any enduring bond. When accountability is missing, these essential pillars begin to crumble, leading to repeated conflicts and eroding the very foundation of trust. In Stoic practice, we are encouraged to reflect on our actions, take ownership of them, and make amends when we have caused harm. The absence of this practice in a relationship creates a lopsided dynamic, where one or both people feel unheard and disrespected. This imbalance is profoundly destabilizing, for in the Stoic view, relationships are meant to be a crucible for mutual support and growth, helping each person live more virtuously. Addressing this lack requires open, honest communication. Both parties must clearly state their expectations and agree on what accountability looks like within their relationship. This may involve setting clear standards for behavior and holding regular check-ins to ensure both people feel respected. But if these attempts fail to bring about change, one must re-examine the relationship's viability. Stoicism is not a call to endure harmful situations without end. Instead, it guides us to seek and cultivate relationships that nurture our moral and personal growth. Fostering an environment of mutual accountability is not simply about keeping the peace. It is about actively building a relationship founded on the Stoic ideals of justice, wisdom, and courage. A partnership that consistently lacks these qualities is unlikely to be aligned with the Stoic path toward a virtuous and fulfilled life. As we conclude our reflections for today, remember that the wisdom of the Stoics is not confined to ancient texts. It is a living, breathing guide for navigating the complexities of modern life. Thank you for joining us here at Stoic Journal. Having journeyed with us to the end, we invite you to share your own thoughts in the comments. If this is your first time with us, consider subscribing to continue the conversation. Until next time.